Thank you. Our next speaker is Sarah Tayel, who is an undergraduate at University of Maryland, College Park, and is participating in the Maternal Child Health Leadership Education Advocacy Research Network, or MCH Learn program this summer.
Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to be here today to share my story with all of you guys. 7 years ago, at the tender age of 12, right before I started high school, I made the decision to wear the religious headscarf, the hijab, that I am mandated to wear according to my religion, Islam. I was ecstatic to be like my mom and all the other older friends that I grew up with, as well as to be able to style the hijab and match it with all of my outfits and clothes. Little did I know just how much a mere yard of cloth would change my entire life. My name is Sarah Tayel. It means bringer of joy in Arabic. Most days, my name is full-time university student, public health and psychology nerd, oldest sibling, Saturday school teacher, or makeup addict. My name is, I just turned 19 years old, and I'm going to be a junior in college with a double major. I am an unapologetic Muslim woman, Egyptian, American, hijabi, activist, social justice advocate. My name is Leader, traveler, New York born, and DMV raised. But at the airport, my name is random search. My name is, ma'am, please step aside, and pat down. And on the street, it's terrorist, oppressed, raghead, and go back to your country. On the news, it's ISIS, jihadi, suspect, radical, extremist. My name is, could your Muslim neighbor be planning the next 9/11? You see, if there were an elephant in the room right now, I would still be the elephant in the room. I'm not going to lie to you guys, it's hard, it really is. And 7 years ago, when I made the decision to wear this mere piece of cloth on my head, I didn't anticipate nearly any of this to happen. Although I grew up watching my mom suffer from open discrimination at the mall and in public areas, I attributed it to her slight Arab accent. I thought I was invincible with my American-sounding name and my American-born citizenship, but I wasn't. Nobody is. I went to high school every day, dreading every single minute of it. My hijab would get pulled in the hallways, and ignorant remarks such as, do you have cancer and have to cover your bald head? Or, how pathetic is it that you're forced to wear that thing on your head? Were constantly thrown my way. It didn't just stop at the students around me. It went even further than that. I vividly remember one of my high school teachers pointing at me after the school-wide moment of silence on 9/11 and saying, this is all your people's fault. I lost my middle school friends who were afraid to be seen with the extremist freak at school. I had nobody. As if high school isn't bad enough for the typical American student, I carried this burden of stress with me always. What was I supposed to do? I could only snitch to the school counselor administration so many times. Every time someone would be forced to stop, 10 more people would pop up and continue this discrimination against me, all because I decided to openly practice my faith, a right that I am supposedly granted as a U.S. citizen and human. It didn't just stop at high school. These ignorant remarks persisted outside of school and beyond. I remember walking in the mall with my non-Muslim friends and hearing a man from the other side of the corridor yelling, "Go back to your country, you filthy raghead," and holding up a gun sign with his hands, pretending to shoot. I thought to myself, do you mean Brooklyn, New York, where I was born? I remember walking through my college campus in the first week of freshman year, happy as can be, and then overhearing a couple students behind me whispering about all the gruesome ways that they'd kill me if they could, just because I was Muslim. While these people fear the cloth that covers my head and the fact that I look different from them, I constantly live in fear of being attacked at any given moment. What baffled me was, why did all these people make these horrible, ignorant remarks, all without even asking my name, or even conversing with me? They say that the shortest distance between two people is a story. Well, I'd like to elaborate on that to say that the greatest distance you can travel in the shortest amount of time is by asking someone their name. Personally, I believe that the way we name ourselves is a direct reflection of who we are. Our declarations, family histories, the things that we believe, the morals we abide by, our homes, cultures, and transformations. Like a Muhammad turned Mo or an Osama turned Sam. And the way we name others and how, if we allow others to name themselves, is a reflection of our own morals, principles, declarations, courage, and fears. The plasticity of a person's story must be self-determined, coming directly from the mouth of the storyteller, not from the news anchorman, not from that one Facebook article that you read, not even from the scarf on her head or the melanin in his skin. And when we don't ask someone their name, we're choosing to ignore their story. I feel like we as a society have come to this point where we don't even need to ask for people's names or stories because we already gave it to them. Luckily for me, growing up, I had a great support system. I had mentors, a supportive family, and a couple of close out-of-school Muslim friends that were always there to pick me up when I was feeling down. I decided that the fear of the unknown that people had towards me wasn't going to dictate my life, and that I am proud of my faith and of who I am. Despite all that I was going through, I was able to revitalize the Muslim Student Association at my high school, holding a position of president and instituting events at my high school that I had hoped would educate my ignorant peers about Islam, such as try on hijab for a day or hug a Muslim. I graduated high school at the age of 16, in the top 5% of my class, and was accepted into one of the most prestigious academic programs in my university. In college, I've maintained an excellent GPA, making Dean's List for outstanding students every semester, taking about 20 credits a semester, and balancing a double major with 3 jobs on the side. I currently hold the position of President of Organization of Arab Students, as well as board member for Students for Justice in Palestine. I serve as an Arabic language student teacher, a research assistant in 2 labs on campus, and a part of 3 academic honor societies. I worked hard to achieve these specific positions in order to exemplify the image that my group of marginalized people have in the society that we live in. I use the hate and remarks that I received and currently receive as a propeller to push me up and work harder to achieve my goals, rather than as a weight that would inevitably drag me down. In the world of mass media and rampant misinformation that surrounds us, it's hard for anyone, including myself, to really deconstruct and process the numerous terrifying stories that we hear every day. Sometimes, instead of isolating them, individualizing them, we tend to paint a group of people with a broad brush until suddenly everyone with a hijab on is a raghead that needs liberating, or everyone with dark skin is a criminal, or everyone with white skin is a redneck, or everyone who looks like my father is going to blow up the airplane. Or if the killer on the news had a light complexion, he's just a mentally fragile lone wolf. And it's in this forgetfulness that we assume we hijack people's stories and attribute their race, ethnicity, social class, religions, clothing, or culture to the names that we selfishly chose for them. And what happens when we restrict certain names with specific depictions? We ignorantly exclude some and include others. We end up confining huge hordes of people into a name that says dangerous, even if they're nowhere near it. Like when we say terrorist instead of hijabi, or thug instead of 17-year-old black child, or alien instead of immigrant, or lazy poor people instead of unequal wealth distribution. I've learned from experience that when someone really wants to know, they'll be willing to cross that bridge and threshold of fear of the unknown and find out my story, and that my name actually means bringer of joy, and that assalamu alaikum, my religion's greeting, actually means may peace be upon you. And then they'll have the courage to ask the much more important questions that probably only people like me can answer. Like, what's that thing that you wear on your head? Were you really forced to wear it? Are all Muslims really violent, vicious people? Does your holy book, the Quran, really say to kill all of us? Can you please tell me what's up with ISIS? And all these simple questions, though seemingly uncomfortable, are how I know I've been humanized instead of stereotyped, and how the courageously curious individuals find out that really I'm only as scary as the silence that they held within. If you guys walk away with one thing today, I want it to be this. Avoid painting any group of people with a broad paintbrush. Don't let society's flawed definitions or generalizations of who or what a group of people are like become your own. Walk up to that person that looks different from you, or the one that you don't know much about. Ask them their name, their story, their likes, dislikes, hopes, and dreams. Learn about them. Ask them questions, or simply tell them that they mean something. It may not seem anything monumental to you, but to them, it may mean the world. It may be those few words that keep them pushing, fighting, persisting. Let us all embrace one another and stand in solidarity. Our world needs love and peace now more than ever. Thank you.
During the course of our morning, you heard two quotes from Oprah Winfrey. I'm going to say something now that I hope you will quote from now on. Wow. You can quote that. I would like all our speakers, our student speakers, no offense to Dr. Hill-Briggs, our student speakers to please stand. Thank you all for making Johns Hopkins a better place this summer and the world a better place forever. This concludes our morning session. We now have posters on the first floor and second floor for you to look at, but I hope that you all have been inspired as I have. Thank you very much.